Assalamu alaikum. Welcome students. Today we will discuss about structure of C++ program. It is the basic structure. Basic structure mean that should be included when we are writing any program. That is the basic thing. Like we see in our body, the skeleton is the basic thing. It should be there. Like that, it is the structure in C++ program. In last class, we see the character set in C++ and tokens in C++. Now structure. The structure of C++ includes four sections. One is include files. Include file section. Second one, class declaration. Class declaration. Next, function declaration. Member function declaration. Member function declaration. Next, main function. These are the four sections come in the structure of C++ program. Now we'll see one by one what are these. First, include files. Include file is nothing but in this section we are including all the preprocessor directives which are necessary for the program written. When we are writing the program, at that time some of the predefined directives are there. Predefined directives means which already written, which are necessary, which we should be included during the execution or during writing the program. We are using those functions, some of the functions. Those files, we call it as header files. Those files are, we are including this include section. Like std diode, we are included by using hash include. Within that, we are including by using this include keyword. We are including which one we are using. For example, iostream dot h. We are using, this is one preprocessor directory. Like that, we are included in this includes file section. Next, class declaration. We already know class. Class is nothing but it is a collection of objects, or we can say it is a structure where we are defining the data members and member functions which are used by the object. That is class. In class declaration mean we are declaring the class. Within the class, what are the data members and member functions we are declaring within this class. That is class declaration. This is the optional one. Generally, class declaration, class we are not included in beginning programs. But which one, the OOPS concept, if we are using the OOPS concept, that is C++, the basic concept of OOPS, if we want to use, that is inheritance, encapsulation, objects, if you want to use that, then class, that all the concepts we can include it, we can use using this class only. So we should include class declaration, declaring the class here. Next, third one is member function declaration. Member function means these are the functions, user defined functions, which are used by some other functions or main function. These are using these member functions. See, in class declaration also we are writing some functions, but those functions are used by the objects of this class only. Object of this class only can use the function declared in this class. But these member functions are the functions which are used by other functions or a main function. We can say this is the global function, like that. We can say like that. This is the member function declaration, which is required whenever you want. If you want that global functions, we should include in this section, member function declaration. Next, main function. Main function, this is the starting point. You can say whenever we run the program, this is the starting point from where the running execution of the program will be start. If you are not included this main function, program will not execute, because compilers don't know what is the starting point. So this is the main, where is main is a function. like other functions. Main also a function only, but this is the starting of the execution of the program, and it contains the body of the program. Complete body of the program is added in this main function by using the curly braces. These are the curly braces. Within this we are writing the body of the program we are writing here. Clear? This is the basic structure which contains include file section. In this we are adding some predefined directories like library functions we are adding here. Class declaration, here we are declaring the class. Within the class we are defining the data members and member functions which are used by the object. And member function declaration, these are the functions which are used by other functions or main function. And the main function, this is the main section in the program when we are writing the program. Without this, execution of the program is not possible. Execution will be start from the main function only. It contains the body of the program. Clear? This is about the structure of the program. Next we will see another topic, that is library functions. Library function means here we are within the include file section we are adding libraries, some of the predefined directories, some files, header files we are adding. Now we will see what are those files, what are the types of library function, what is library functions, we will see now. Library functions, as I say, library function is nothing but it is predefined functions. Some of the, we also say built-in functions in C++, they are already there, already defined there, already created these functions. By using this it save the programming time, because for example we want to do some mathematical expression. For that there is some functions are there we need to use, but by adding this library function, for that one function is there. If we added that library function, then we can usually use that. This save the programming time. Example, you want to do some addition of two numbers, for that one already function is already created, that functions are there, that we are using. For that, by using that there are different type of functions are there. What are the library functions, we will see one by one. Character functions. Character functions. Next, string functions. Character function, string function. Now we will see mathematical functions or input output functions. Input output functions, and library functions are, see, character functions, string functions, input output functions, mathematical functions, like there are so many functions are there, library functions are there. We will take these are the some examples. IO functions means here console input output functions, console input output function. Clear? Now we will see one by one. Character function. Character functions are the functions that we inbuilt functions or predefined functions which are using to manipulate the characters. We want to manipulate the characters, changing the characters, character styles, like that. We are using these character functions. To use this character function, we need to include the header file in that is C type. C type.h. It should be included in the include section. This is the header file we are using for character function. Clear? Character function means manipulating the characters. Example is upper, is upper, is upper means to change the letter to uppercase. Lowercase letter is there, character is there, we want to change into uppercase, we are doing this uppercase. Like that, is lower is there. To change the letters to lower case. Like that, there are so many functions are there. Yeah, we are using to use these type of character functions. We are using this C type. Please remember this. C type is a C type.h. It is a header file which we are using for which we should include in the header file in the include section for character functions by using these type of functions. Clear? Other character functions are there when we are writing the program. At that time we will learn what are the other functions are there. Whenever it required, we will use that. Next, come to the string function. String functions are nothing but these are the functions we are using to manipulate the strings. Strings, we can say it is a character of array. We consider a character, it is a array of characters. To use the string functions, we need to include string.h. String.h, this is the header file, should be included in the header section, include file section to use the string function. Example for string function is string copy, like string cpy. It is a function we are using to copy the string. Like that, string compare. String compare. It is we are using to compare two strings. Like that, to get the string length, to join the strings. There are so many functions are there. String length. String length. This function we are using to get the length of the string. Like that, so many string functions are there which already define the term inbuilt. To use these string functions, we should include this string.h. This is the header file we should include in the include section. Clear? Next we will see console IO functions. Console IO means input output functions. These are used to receive the data or display the data from the input and output devices. We are using these console functions. To use this, we should include stdio, standard input output file. This header file should be included in header section to use this IO function. IO functions are like getChar, putChar, getS, putS. These are the functions, IO functions. getChar, getCh, getS. These are the functions. Get, putCr or putS. These are the console IO function, input output function. To use this, we should include this stdio.h header file in the section. Next, mathematical functions. Mathematical functions, as I already told, to perform some mathematical operation, addition, subtraction, or to find the root, or to find the prime number. Like that, for that, everything, some predefined functions are there. Predefined functions. To use those functions, we should include the file math.h. Math.h. This is the header file. We are included in the header section, that include section, to use the mathematical functions. Mathematical functions are some like that root. These are the functions, predefined functions we are using in our program. Remember this. These are the common library functions we are using in our programs. Character functions, for that ctype.h is the header file. String functions, for that string.h is the header file. Console IO function, for that stdio.h is the function header file. Mathematical functions, math.h is the header file. Now we will see the next topics, data types. Data types is nothing but we are defining or declaring any variable. Let's say which type of it is. It is an integer, or it is a character, or it is a string, it is a floating point. For that, we are using these data types to declare that. In data types, there are 4 types of data types are there. That is one simple. First one is simple or fundamental. Fundamental data types. Second one is modifier. Modifiers. Third one is derived data types. Fourth one is derived data types, and finally user defined data types. User defined data types. These are the 4 types of data types. Let's see one by one. Here, fundamental data types means which are basic things, basic database which we are using, like int, char, float. These are the fundamental data types. Double. These things you already know. Int for integer data type, char for character, or also for string also. Float for floating point. Double for double. Double means it is a long value. That is, these are the fundamental data types which we are using in general. Now modifier. Modifiers means these also used to modify these values. Modify these fundamental data types we are using in general. See, integer is there. If you define, example here, int x is there. Now we are declaring one variable x with integer data type. Now it may be signed integer or unsigned integer, which we already seen in our previous class. There are 2 types of constants are there. In constants, integer constant is there, unsigned constant is there. If we give only int means it may be a signed or unsigned, both. Now if you want to particular one, then at that time what we are using this. Modifiers are signed, unsigned, short, long. These are the modifiers we are using in C++. Now if you, for example, now if I want only unsigned one, then unsigned, we are writing like this, unsigned int x. This means x is a variable of type unsigned integer. Unsigned means only positive. Only it is a positive integer only. There is no negative integer. If you want both means we specify with the signed. Like the short, long, to define the, we want short value, short variable or long variable, depending on that we are using these modifiers. Clear? Next, derived data types. Derived data types means these are the data types which we are deriving using these one fundamental. By using these fundamental data types only, we are deriving these data types. Example for this is array, pointer. These are the derived data types. Clear? Your array means array may be an integer, or maybe array may be a character, which you already in previous year also, in first PC also you studied this. This time also you will see with examples while writing the program. Array, pointer, what is array, what is pointer, you will see those things. These are the example for derived data types. Derived data type means these are derived using the fundamental data types. Clear? Next, user defined data types. User defined data types means these also the data types we are constructed or derived using these simple fundamentals only. These simple or fundamental data types, using these only we are defining these or constructing this user defined data type. Example for this is structure, unions, class. These are the example for user defined data types. You already studied structure, unions. This time you will see class, how to write the class. Input output operations we are perform using input output operators are there. These are the operators which we are using here. Input output means receiving the data and sending the data. Receive the data, what we are using, sending the data. Now you see one by one. First we will see input operator. Input operator, this operation we will perform using this symbol. This is the symbol. This is the input operator, which we are using this with cin stream. Cin, to read the data. Input means input, we are reading the data by using from the input devices. Normally keyboard is the input device we are using here. Standard input device is keyboard. From keyboard we are receiving the data by using this cin and this input operator, and saving that in a variable or anything where we require we will save. For example, how we will do this? Cin, for example, age or name, anything. If you give like this, if you execute this from keyboard, it will wait until we enter one key in keyboard. It will wait, and when we enter one key, the data will be received and saved in the age. Age is a variable here. In that the data will be saved. So this is the input operator. We call this as stream extraction. Stream extraction operator. Stream extraction operator means from keyboard it receive and extract that data and save in the variable. This is input operator. Remember this. Stream extraction operator. For input operator, another name is stream extraction operator. Now we will see output operator. Output operator we are using to send the data to the output device. The standard output device is display monitor. Monitor is the standard output device which we are using. The data will be sent to the monitor by using the output operator. The output operator is this is left shift operator. This is output operator. We are using cout stream. Cout we are using for this to display the data or to send the data to the monitor to display. How we will do this? Same thing. For example, cout. Here we can write anything. Welcome. Welcome. If you are right, the welcome will be display on monitor. So this is the output operator. We call this as stream insertion operator. Stream insertion operator. Remember, input operator we call it as stream extraction operator. Output operator we call it as stream insertion operator. Insertion, we are inserting the data on the monitor to the monitor. This is here. This is about input output operator. Next we will see in this another topic is console input output or cascading of input output. Now we will see cascading input output. Cascading input output operator means combining two or three many input output statements are there. We are combining into a single one. That is possible in C++ by using cascading input output operators. Now we will see how it is possible. For example, cout I am giving. enter value for x. Next we are giving c in, that we are saving value in x. Next c out enter value for y. C in y. C out let's will see this much only. You will understand this. Here you can see. Here we are giving C out enter value for x. First we are using output operator. Next we are using input operator to read the data for x. And again we are displaying the data on monitor by using output operator, value for enter value for y. Again we are reading the data or input for y. These are here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 statements we are written here. Instead of writing 4 statements, we combining this and we can write in a single one. For that, how we will do? We are write, see, same thing. We are do by using cascading input output operator. How we will do? C out enter values for x and y. We are displaying in single one enter values for x and y. At a time we are reading both the values. For that, how we will do? C in x y. By writing both in a single one, single C in, we are writing x and y. We are using 2 times the input operator here. Like that, this is nothing but cascading input operator. Clear? Here combining, if we say the definition, what we say, when we want output more than one result, then this can be done using single cout statement. Here see, 2 cout statement are there. Instead of that, we are writing single output statement, cout statement. Like that, same thing. When we are when we want to read 2 cin statements, instead of writing 2 cin statement, we are using single cin statement. This process we call it as cascading input output operator. Clear about this? This is about the cascading input output operators. We will end here today's session. Next we will see in next class. Just I will revise what are the things we studied. I conclude that once. Today we studied first structure. First we studied structure of C++ program. Next we studied library functions. Library functions we studied. After library functions we studied input output operators, data types. Data types in C++. Next we will study input output operations. How we are doing input output operations. Next we will study cascading input output operations. Input output operations. These things we studied. In structure of C++, 4 sections are there. Include files, class declaration, and member function declaration. Next we studied main function. In library functions, we studied what is library functions. In that we see some examples, that mathematical functions, string functions, character functions we studied. Next in data types, there are 4 types of data types we studied. That is simple or fundamental data types, modified, next derived data types, and user defined data types. On example for that, in our input output operator we are using input output what operators we are using, that we studied. In cascading, how we are combining more than two or more statements are there, C in or C out, we are combining that into a single C out or C in, that we call it as cascading input output. This is about today's, we complete these things. Next we will see next class. If you have any doubt in these things, you can ask me.